Hey guys, it's Katie. Welcome to this channel if you are new, or welcome back if you've been here before. So, disclaimer before I get into the video, you might have seen this before, and I made this video on my old channel, and I decided to remake it for this channel. I would just like repost that video or something, but like, if you watched it, you know I like messed up the music super bad, and I don't want to repost that, so I'm just gonna remake it, and hopefully it's just as good and you guys still like it just as much, because a lot of people seem to like that video. So yeah, let's go. So if you clicked on this video, you may have expected it to be like kind of sad, and it is, but I kind of just want to focus on like the funnier parts of the story. I may do what I did on my old channel and remake a video about like kind of like the worst parts of this story. And if you do want to see a video like that, tell me down below and I will get that up for you guys. But yeah, so let's get into this. So this isn't like, okay, wait, first, my bed, I know it's not like the same like white fluffy thing that I usually have in the background, but like I'm going to camp today actually. The day I'm recording this, I'm going to camp, and I really wanted to take that blanket with me, which I really shouldn't have because it's really big and like it's too much. But anyways, that's beside the point, just so you know. I don't know why I thought that was like relevant, but anyways, I don't really know where to start. Well, I guess I'll start from like when it happened. On June 24th of the year 2015, I tried to kill myself, and it got like very close to like actually working, if that makes sense. Yeah, so June 24th, more than 2 years ago, I had to go to the hospital in the emergency room in the middle of the night, and I was there, and they ran all sorts of tests and stuff to make sure everything was going to be okay. And then like when it was getting close to be time for me to go back home, the doctor was telling me, or my parents really, not necessarily me, more my parents, said that he would definitely recommend that he said I obviously need to get some sort of help. I can't just go home and forget about it. So he said they should seriously consider admitting me into like a psychiatric ward or some sort of hospital of that sort. So my parents were like, okay, sure. And I had the option to like go there at like 2, like it was like 2 or 3, maybe even later, or earlier in the morning, whatever. You get what I mean? You get what I mean. So my parents were like, no, you can, like, no, like, yeah. So I went home instead, and I spent a night there. And so in the morning we were supposed to go there the next morning, like early in the morning, and I had to pack my stuff to go there, and I was like, what do I pack? I'm not prepared for this situation. I don't know what I need to bring or anything. So I just brought basically I brought like a ton of books, and I brought like a bunch of stuff, like all the things that like meant something to me, kind of, if that makes sense, like little like pieces of jewelry that I like wore sometimes. I don't really know how to explain it. I don't even remember completely, but just kind of stuff that was like important to me, and like some clothes. And I was like, I don't know, hopefully that's good. And so we went there. It was a pretty long ways away from my house. It's actually closer to where I live now. So, I don't know why that's relevant, but so we drove there in the morning, and when we got there we had to wait for a little while in like a lobby area, and then we got like called back, and I kind of had to do like an interview almost with this lady. She was so mean. I really didn't like her. I was like, stop, does this really seem like a good idea to ask me all these questions, or like, you know, I was just like, just no. So got this interview. She asked me like so many questions that were just like, didn't want to answer. It wasn't a good time, you know. So that happened, and then like, okay, so like the first not necessarily the first impression, because like obviously I'd been in the building, I'd talked with that lady, but like the first impression I got of the actual like where I was gonna be was this bathroom. Okay, so after like hours and hours of waiting for this woman to like get the interview, I skipped that part, but like it took so long. She took forever to get there. We were there for like hours just waiting, and then like longer for her to do the thing, and then we had to wait for her to come back. And then when I was like finally admitted, she took me down this hall and she's like, okay, do you need to use the bathroom? You can go in here. And I was like, okay, sure, why not? I need time to not be around people for a second. So I went in there and this was like the first impression I got. Okay, this bathroom was the creepiest thing I've ever seen. Like, it was out of a horror movie. Like it's literally like a stereotypical creepy bathroom. I don't know, it was so weird. Like, it was super, like, the lights were dim. Like, there was only a light in one corner of the room. And so it was, like, super dark everywhere else. And it was, like very, like, gray and just, like, creepy. And then, like, I walked up to the mirror, washed my hands and stuff, and, like, the mirror, like, all the mirrors in the building are, like, made out of plastic, so you can't, like, or I'm assuming so you can't, like, break them and take the glass and whatever. So it looked like several people had like punched it. So I was like, oh my god. And so I was like, oh, this is gonna be great. And so I went back out to the lady and she took me out to like the main place where everything was. And then I had to go and what did I even have to do? Oh, I had to like go like get checked and everything and like all this different stuff. And then when I finally got done and like was like admitted, had my little bracelet and everything, I was just ready to go. Which, by the way, like you always see in like movies, all like these really creepy looking kids wearing like hospital robes. It's not how it actually is. Like you only wear a hospital robe if you came from a hospital and they made you put it on. But like you're allowed to wear your own clothes, depending. Like there's rules. Like you can't wear, if you have like sweatpants that have drawstrings in them to like keep them closed, they take them out. Same with shoes. If you have shoelaces in your shoes, they take them out so you can't like strangle yourself or your roommate. So yeah, just so you know, it's not actually like that. Like you can wear your own clothes. So I mean, it might not be like that for every hospital, but the one I went to. So anyways, this is gonna be really long. There's all these rooms, right? And they're called day rooms, and there's 2 for the girls, 2 for the boys. The boys and the girls aren't allowed to be together. Like they're pretty much, you really never see each other during the day because who knows what could happen, you know? So I was in this, the day room that they put me in, and it was with a bunch of little kids, which like right off the bat I was like, little kids, what did they do to be here, you know? And so there are these girls that looked to be my age in there, and we started talking, and then we ended up being friends for like most of the time I was there. I talked to those girls for a little bit, and like they seemed fine, so like we became friends a little bit. And then at like 4 o'clock, it was time for dinner. Like 4 o'clock, that's so early for dinner. Like that's when I eat lunch. Like, no. So I was like, well, when you first get admitted there, for the first 24 hours of your stay, you have to stay in one of the day rooms to eat your meals. I don't really know why that matters. I guess it's, no, I actually don't know. I was like trying to think of a reason. I was like, no, it actually doesn't even make any sense. So, you get like a little bracelet. And it's pink and it says retain to unit. You know, I think I have those bracelets somewhere still. Like I know I saw them recently, but I don't know where they are. If I find them, I will insert a little clip into this video of me showing you them. So if you see that, then you will. If you don't, then you won't. So anyways, where even was I? Okay, so I had to stay in the room and like everyone else, well except for like a few girls, because you can get the bracelet and have to stay there to eat your meals for other reasons. So anyways, everyone went to dinner. I ate my dinner there. It was whatever. Like, nothing seemed like I wasn't, like, scared. No one seemed like they were gonna, like, kill me or anything, so I was fine. And then, like, I just realized how boring it was. Like, there's really nothing to do. Like, it's... Honestly, not that I've been to prison, but, like, all the shows I've seen about prison, like, it's very similar to prison, but for, like, different reasons of getting there, if that makes sense, and for like younger people. So that was basically the first day. I just ate dinner and basically did nothing. Like they let you watch, like sometimes, like not the whole day, they'll turn it off after a while, but they have the TV on for part of the day, and then like you can color or draw and whatever. So yeah, so that was the first day. So on the weekends at this place, they have a recreational therapist come in, and she does like art type stuff with you and stuff like that. So like that was like one of the only things that really happened during the day were like that. And there were other type of therapists that came in and did like group activity type of stuff, and it was okay. Like it was interesting. And yeah, so the rooms, I forgot to mention that about the rooms. You have a roommate. Either you have 2 or one. One or two would actually make more sense grammatically. But anyways, so you have one or two, and like the rooms, they're just like really simple. They're just like these uncomfortable beds, and you get like one blanket, and it's super thin, and it's really cold, and you have like little cubbies where you can store the stuff that you were allowed to bring. There's a lot of stuff you can't bring in with you. Like if you bring stuff in your bag that you're not allowed to have, they'll just keep it and give it to you when you get out. So I put all like the few things that they let me keep there, and yeah, so when I first got there, I think I only had one roommate, and she was really nice. I felt like, so like I really hope she's doing okay. I haven't been able to talk to her since more than 2 years. I feel bad. I did get like her email, but I have no idea where it went. Like I had a bunch of papers in a little jar of everyone's like contact information that I got, and she's gone. So I really hope she's doing okay. But yeah, so eventually I got like more roommates, and my roommates got switched out and everything, and I became really close friends with, we'll say her name's Hannah, and Jen. Me and those two, we became pretty good friends, and like we were hanging out all the time during the day, because like there's nothing else to do, so like you gotta make friends. And actually there was a third person, I forgot. We'll say her name's Anna. And Anna was like my closest friend when I was there. Like she was, I don't know, I miss her. I don't talk to her as much anymore, but I hope she's doing alright. And she got out, and it sucked because we were in different rooms at the time, so I never got to like say goodbye to her, and I hope she's doing okay, but that's beside the point. So Jen and Hannah, they were left, and for a while Jen was my roommate, and we had a lot of fun. we always were doing stuff like we were always messing around when we were in our rooms like before bed, and this one nurse, he was a male nurse, and like before bed they come around to check everyone's beds like a couple times, like maybe 4 times, and then throughout the night they come to check I think like every half an hour. So me and Jen, we were always like messing around really, like this male nurse would come to check on us at like the worst possible time. Like she was picking up her mattress off of her bed, saying how like, because we were always talking about like all the different safety precautions they took to make sure you didn't hurt anyone or yourself in there. So she picked up her bed, and she was like, "See, you could just put this over someone's head and suffocate them with it." And then he walked in like right then, and he was like, he just like shook his head and left. And I was like, I can't think of what else we did. Oh, she was we were always making fun of how like they try to separate the girls and the boys so much, even though like most of the girls in there were gay. So like it didn't even matter, but it was really dumb, so we were always talking about that. And she made up like this gesture that she was gonna try to do to one of the boys at lunch, and I can't even like imitate it for you. It was so funny though, like we were like dying laughing, and she was walking down the like between the beds and like the cubbies, and like she was just like making a big show out of it. And then he walked in, the same male nurse again, and he was just like, no. He just like left again. He was a great person. But yeah, so Jen was really fun. I miss her a lot. I hope she's doing okay. She gave me her Facebook, but I can't remember what her last name was, so I can't like talk to her, and I miss her, and I hope she's okay. But yeah, so there was all that, and there was a point where like, okay, so you know that gesture that I was talking about no, that's not, I almost said a real name, Jen had done. Well, she did do that at lunch one time, and like all the girls were laughing, and she did it to the boys, and then like the nurses got so mad because we were making contact with the boys, like, oh no. And so I got in trouble. First, like I got in trouble for this, which makes so much sense. But like, so I had got moved to a separate day room than my friends, and so I was back in with these little kids. I forgot to mention I got moved to like the older girls' room. So I was in there, and I was like, I don't know why, but it just made me like so, like it was just like, it was too much at the time for me to like deal with in my head, and I just like kind of freaked out a little bit. And like my parents came to visit me whenever they could, and then there's a point where you have to meet with your family and your like therapist that you've been assigned to while you've been there. And so we were in that, and my dad was on the phone, and my mom was talking to me, and I was like, I was still like freaking out from just like everything that had happened. And so I was like, I was just like, you have to get me out of here, like right now. And that's one of like the worst parts about this, is that you cannot leave. Like, you can't just, like, your parents just can't come get you and take you if they want. Like, it's not up to them, which is really scary because I hate the feeling of like being trapped. So that scares me a lot. Like, the soonest you can get out when you want to is like within 3 days. You have to, like, your parents have to sign a form, and then if your psychiatrist approves it, you can get out within 3 days. So my mom signed that for me, and I was still like, I can't stay here for that long. Like, I was so panicked, but it ended up being okay, and I did get out within those 3 days that she had signed it. So I was there for a little over a week in total, and honestly, I don't even know how long I could have been there if she hadn't signed that. But yeah, so there was also the psychiatrist. The psychiatrist they gave me, I did not like him at all. He just, I was just not in a good like state of mind at the time, so I just didn't want to be asked all these questions that everyone wanted to ask me. So like, he just kept asking these questions, and I just got like so mad, and I just like walked out of the room, and I just never talked to him again. So I think that's basically like everything significant that happened while I was there. I mean, there was other stuff, but like, it's hard to explain everything that happened there, because it's like, it's just stuff that you had to be there for to understand, you know? One thing, like, my stomach kept hurting at night, so I went to ask the nurse. I was like, hey, do you have like some medicine or something I could take? And she was like, here, have a pack of graham crackers. So I was like, thanks? Like, yeah, I feel all better. I was so like multiple nights the same thing happened. I was like, hey, my stomach hurts again, can I get like some medicine for it? She was like, here, crackers. I was like, girl. So yeah, but besides that, that's basically all that happened. Like I said, other stuff happened. I don't know, like, I'm trying to think of stuff that you might like want to know about it. We did get to go outside once while I was there. It was like this little kind of courtyard that was like surrounded by the walls of the building. It was like in the middle of the building, sort of. So we got to go there one time. We never went there again. There was also a gym. We got to go to there once, and once again, now there again. And yeah, so like the nurses were not, like, there was a lot of really mean nurses. Did my camera just move? I think it did. My tripod is a little bit broken, so like it tilts a little bit sometimes, so I just have to like set it weird. So yeah, but some of the nurses were kind of rude, and like, I don't know, it was just like not really the right job for them. Like, not like they should be super nice, because the point is, like, the reason why things aren't like so like welcoming and warm and stuff is because they don't want you to want to stay there, you know? Like, they don't want it to seem better than your life outside. They want you to like try to get better, and it's honestly not a good like system. Like, it's so easy to get out, like it's so easy to fake your way out of there, really, like when you're not ready to leave yet. Basically everything. There was other stuff, like you got phone time 2 times a day, depending on like there was different levels of like behavior. If you were at the top, then you got more phone time, stuff like that. So yeah, that's all I can really think of. Not too much else happened. I do still talk to Hannah. That's what I said her name was. I still talk to her every once in a while. She was the only one that I like kept. Oh wait, I forgot something. Another thing. But one more. Wait, is this still? This girl I met in there. Her name was Shayna, and I met her like just a couple days before I got out, so I didn't really get to know her. But like the next week or 2 later, when I was at my church on a Wednesday, I was like, we were in a room with like all the kids. We were just hanging out, and I looked over and I saw. What did I just say her name was? Shayna. And I was like, we were both kind of looking at each other, and we were both just like, wait, really? Like, nuh-uh. And like, neither one of us really wanted to go up to each other, because like, how are you supposed to be like, hey, did I see you in a mental hospital last week? You know, it's not really something you want to say, because like, what if it's not her? And then you're just like, oh yeah, me neither. But so eventually she came up to me and she was like, hey, this might sound so weird, but like, hey, were you at this mental hospital that we were in last week, and I was like, yes, I was, you were too, I'm not like going crazy. And she's like, yes, oh my gosh, how are you? And like we got to talking and we were friends for a little while. I haven't seen her very much recently, we don't talk as much, but yeah, so we became pretty good friends actually from that for a little while. So yeah, okay, so that's actually it. I'm pretty sure that's everything. I hope I didn't forget anything like important. If I did, maybe I'll make like a part 2 or something. We'll see. But yeah, if you want to see a video that talks about like the darker parts of this story, then let me know and I will make that video for you guys. And yeah, so thank you for watching. I hope that you liked this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to my channel so you will see. I'm planning to make a lot of videos like about this time of my life, so if you want to see those, subscribe, turn on my notifications, all that. Comment if you've ever had a similar experience. Tell me about that. I want to know. So have a great rest of your day. Bye.